Hello, everyone. My name is Gregory Harnett, and we're going to learn about stock and options trading. I have a program available to you, and this is going to explain a little bit about it. So get your notepad and learn a little bit now and learn a lot later if you wish. Okay, here's the story. I've been teaching stockbrokers and insurance agents since 1999. And it's time that I teach you. It's time that you fire your broker because here's the reason. Um, I've taught many. Classes, and one particular class stood out. It was with a major life and securities firm. You know them as a life insurance company, but they also have investments, and they're throughout the US. There's so many of them. It's a very popular name, and it's named after a state. But I was training a class of managers, and in there were a couple manager wannabes, I want to say it that way, because they were in line down the road once they get their licenses and a little more experience, they would have been managers. But there was 9 of them. And I gave them an opportunity to, get some extra training. And how it went was I went in the weekends, and anybody who wanted to show up in that class and anybody in the company could come and attend and listen to me talk about the different investments. That's what I talked about: stocks, bonds, preferred stocks, common stock, municipal bonds, corporate bonds, treasuries, REITs. I talked about all the options, mutual funds. We ran through them all over 2 weekends. Saturday and Sunday, I was there for like 3-4 hours at a time. And that was the 2 weekends before the Monday through Friday licensing training class started. And I thought that'd give them a great background. That'd give them a good feeling of what investments they're going to have to look at. Because even though they were going to go into the Series 7, which is the general securities or the stockbroker licensing program, even though they were going after that, they could only do variable products and mutual funds as the bulk of their offers. And they could refer people to money manager programs, but they weren't trading. They weren't trading stocks and bonds and stuff and options for them. And so they weren't a full-fledged broker, but they all of them had a Series 6 license so that they could sell mutual funds and variable products from their companies. Now, after the 2 weekends, Monday comes and I sit there and I introduce myself a little bit more and what we're going to do. And I outlined the week for them. And one manager raised his hand and said, "Greg, you don't really have to teach us this chapter and this chapter." And he was talking about mutual funds and variable products. A variable product is a mutual fund, well, a sister fund of the mutuals, and an annuity or a life insurance product, one of the two. So it has insurance product and it has security products, and they married them. They sent them in the back room and they bred and they came out with a variable product. It's sort of like an insurance policy or an annuity that the cash values are determined by what is inside that you select, what security in the marketplace, so that it can grow the cash values better. That's the whole premise behind it. But they didn't want to have those chapters. They've been doing this for 6 to 10 years. They know that. They have no problem. So, Greg, throw out those chapters in the training. Let's concentrate on the other chapters. And I said, hey, great, no problem. I said, but you got to take a quiz. And they said, okay. So we passed out a quiz, and I said, go ahead, you can grade it yourself, but we're going to go around the room. No one passed. No one. Everyone failed miserably. And the guy who put the request, he says, Greg, you cannot, judge us like that, because, we haven't taken the Series 7 exams. We haven't taken your course and finished it. And you give us a quiz and say, oh, we got to add this stuff. And I'm like, guys, that was a Series 6 quiz that you all failed, which you have licenses for. So the idea is you forgot it already, and you need to relearn it. And he said, okay, you're right. Sorry. So we did the whole thing. The whole idea is they're salespeople. They're bottom line salespeople and don't know the investments the way you can learn it now. So what are you going to learn? You have the opportunity to basically learn better than a stockbroker, than an investment advisor. I train them, but I don't give them what I'm giving you. Why? Why wouldn't I do that? Because it is not in the outline from FINRA, Financial Industry Bigwig, that helps the SEC. Their regulatory board has an outline for every test that they need for their license. And I write my books and my material right to the outline. I don't add the other stuff because it's not required for their license. So think about it. All this is not required for their license. The trading, the portfolio management, the investment analysis. Oh, they have a little bit in there. Don't get me wrong. But it is not anywhere near what you're going to learn in my training courses. Now I have two programs. All of them, both of them are designed on my book, Stock and Options Trading. And you get the book. When you sign up, you get the book. Now, here's the thing. Okay, there's two programs. Sorry. Two programs for you. One is a group program. Okay. The group is no more than 8 people in the group. It's live. It's training, but it's, only those participants. We set up a separate live online class for you, and you get 15 hours of trading. That's pretty strong. 15 hours of learning from the book, and you're given the book beforehand so that I want you to read it and I want you to come to class, and we are going to get online and show you how to do your trading. Manage your portfolio. Do your investment analysis. You're going to be better trained than this stockbroker, who I am 100% positive that you're going to be smarter than 95% of the stockbrokers in the United States. No doubt in my mind. No doubt. Because while you're going to learn the materials that I send you, it's a lot of what they learn. But there's about 25, 30 pages that they don't get. And that is what is really going to stand out. You're going to learn the basics. And it may put you to sleep in the beginning. But we're not going to spend too much time. I expect you to read the material first, to have the basis, to get the fog in your head, but the desire to learn more and to clarify that fog. That's why we got the 15 hours. And that is the first program. The first program is group. If you want to do it group, that's fine. But if you want one-on-one training, just you and me, you get 18 hours, same situation, same book, same situation. The only difference is we use your portfolio, your investments, your trading, and we work on it and we build on it and we integrate what I can do for you into that. Am I going to manage your portfolio? Absolutely not. No way. You don't have enough money to pay me to do that. And it's not my shtick. What I am doing here is training you to be independent, is training you to fire your stockbroker and advisor. Now let's go through that. What's the difference? Well, your stockbroker is your advisor. No, he's not. No, he's not. A stockbroker is not a advisor. There's two licenses that make this specific. And the one is the Series 7, which is the general securities. General securities. It lets an individual trade stocks, bonds, mutual funds, variable products, options, establish certain accounts, limited partnerships, direct participation programs. DPPs is what they refer them to. So there's a lot of securities that they can trade. They can't do commodities, they can't do futures, but they can do the general securities. And why can't they do commodities? Because commodity transaction is not a security. Oh, you're going to learn so much here. Now, what about that one-on-one? Well, the group is $250. And the individual one-on-one is $450 for 18 hours. And the reason it's 18 hours as opposed to 15 is we're going to be more specific towards your training, towards individual. Otherwise, I just put out the information. So there's more in-depth analysis that is specific to you in the one-on-one training program. Now, how do you get a hold of me? Well, you get a hold of me through this video. You can also get a hold of me simply by going to my email, financeguy57@gmail.com. You can go and look at my website, securitiestutor.com. securitiestutor.com. Now, there are other books and products on that website that you may want to look into. And actually, I'll be having that, just the book on the trading right there. But the bottom line is, you're going to have a lot of confusion. Or you're going to think you know it, and you're going to make some mistakes. I would be shocked if you didn't. And the bottom line is, I want everybody to take control of their financial future. Plain and simple. Take control of your future. Now, this has been a live streaming, but there's nobody on. I'm certain of it. I don't have the network or the following that I should have, but it's going to be online. And I want everybody to take advantage of it. If you feel you need some help, feel free to give me a call. Contact me through the emails. Contact me through the website. I'll be happy to answer your questions. But what I'm not going to do is do your investing. I'm not going to give you the best tip. There is none. So what are you going to learn? Let's talk more now about the bread and butter part. What are you going to learn? You're going to learn the basics for trading stocks. You're going to know the different types of trades that you can make, transactions, and you're going to learn the the workings of the markets. And that's where I want to go back and talk to you about stockbroker or investment advisor. Now, remember the stockbroker has a Series 7 license. What's their job? Not to give advice. Affect transactions. That is their job description by the SEC and FINRA. Remember, I mean, the SEC is up here and FINRA is down here, but they're regulatory. They're sort of the watchdog, the eyes of the SEC, and that's what a broker-dealer does. That's what an investment broker does. They affect transactions. They'll give you, okay, based on what you told me, this looks good and this looks good. What direction you want to go? That's not an investment advisor. That's someone saying, based on what you told me, here's your options. Which one would you like to do? What do you want to do? What kind of advice is that? It's not. By law, it's not law. It's not advice. So their main situation is to affect the transactions. When you go to your stockbroker firm, whatever it is, ask your broker what licenses he has. Better yet, go to finra.org, FINRA.org, and go on the top. The top will be probably right about there, and it'll say broker check. Hit it and type in your broker's name and learn what licenses he has. I did that when I had trouble with an agent who I was supposed to be training, and for some reason he was really squirrely about paying, and it was just one after the other excuse, and then his sister was going to send money and all this other stuff, and I'm like, and then he sent the money, but he backed it out right as soon as I sent the materials. He backed it out. Well, that got me into broker check. I checked them out, and I wasn't pleased. One of the brokers basically had 2 felonies. And you go through the test and you're told what disqualifies you from getting a license. And you say certain felonies and all that. But I think it was past 10 years. But the bottom line is it was insurance fraud. And he was going to work he was working for a prominent top insurance company. Insurance fraud, grand theft auto, and they let him in. To this day, I check my students out. I don't give them anything until everything clears up and I know the money's in my account and everything. So check your broker out. Now, what about an investment advisor? Okay, an investment advisor has a Series 65 or 66. Series 65 or 66 license. And they are able and expected to give advice. That's their whole duty, to be paid for advice. In most cases, they're not even paid for the transaction. In most cases, they don't even have the funds or your securities at the location. It's with a broker-dealer. And a broker-dealer is your stockbroker firm, okay? They affect the transactions. Now, most definitely, some investment advisors have a broker-dealer built in, just to give you an idea. So look up your broker. Series 7, Series 6. If he's Series 6, he can only do mutual funds and variable products. And my kid brother can do that, and he's not all that bright. So what they're doing is just salesmen. So even investment advisors need to be tested, and that's what you're going to learn on this course. You're going to learn the 4 questions to ask your broker or investment advisor. And the answers are going to determine if they know what they're talking about. And I am going to guarantee you there's going to be a high percentage that fail. Basic questions. Questions that you are going to be able to answer after this course. But if they can't come up with a good answer, or if they poo-poo it and say, oh, no, you don't want that, that's too risky. Options are risky. You don't want that in there. This is what we're doing. Oh, that's what you need is options. Because I'm going to show you there's 3 strategies for options: income, hedge, and speculation. Now, the speculation is what he's thinking about, but he's forgetting about income and hedge and how to do those trading practices and integrate it within a portfolio and lower your risk in your portfolio and increase your income. Wow. So that's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to trade stocks. You're going to learn how to trade options, and you're going to learn how to integrate them together. And you're going to learn how to integrate options into a portfolio to improve the performance. And then you're going to learn, once you learn the basics on single option, like a put or a call. Okay, a put gives you the right to sell your stock at a certain price for a certain period of time. A call gives you the right to buy a stock at a certain price for a certain period of time. Just think of it like a real estate option, an option on a property. You're driving down the road. You see a home you always admired, and all of a sudden you see somebody put a sale sign on it. And you go up to the person and you say, oh, you're selling? And he goes, yeah, it's time. He goes, beautiful home. I admired it all the time. And then you think, wait a minute. I can't buy it now. How much are you asking for? And he says, $250,000. Oh, that's not a bad price. And how big of it? Oh, and it has a quarter acre? A full acre? Oh, okay, nice. Can I take a look at it? And he shows you around, and you are definitely in love with it, and you want to get it, but you don't have the money. You have everything tied up for 3 months or 2 months. Let's say 2 months. And you go to him. I would pay that price for it. Any chance you can just take that sign and throw it out for a couple months? Because in a couple months, that's when I'm going to have the funds for the down and get the financing in line. I'm not going to be able to do it. I can make the offer, get it to you. He goes, no, I really have to sell this. And I can't take the word of somebody. And then if something changes, I'm out 2 months waiting for you to make a decision. But I want it. He goes, I know, but I can't take that risk. He goes, I'll tell you what. And you tell the guy, I'll give you $5,000 right now to give me 2 months. Don't sell it. I'll give you your price of $250. But right now, I'm going to give you $5,000 not to sell it to anybody. But at any time from now until 2 months is up, I can buy it at any time for $250,000. And you can't sell it to anybody. He goes, $5,000? Would you do 6? And you go, yeah, I'll do 6. $6,000 right now. He goes, what if you don't buy it? What if something changes again and, you don't do it? Well, then you got $6,000 in your pocket and put the thing on sale. The $6,000 is for you right now. Here's the money. $6,000. That is a call option on the house. Just think of the house as a $250 stock. You paid $5,000 premium so that you have the ability to buy it. Now, what if he strikes oil on that place and goes shooting up while he's trying to maintain or do something? Guess what? For 2 months, you can buy that for $250,000 with an oil well on there. That's, kind of far out in left field, maybe even right field too. But that's what an option can do. If the value goes up, great. What if the value goes down? What if something happens and all of a sudden that thing's really not even worth 220 now? You don't have to buy it. That $5,000, $6,000, he keeps it. Okay? May not, you change your mind, you don't want it, no problem. We're going to show you how to do that. And the other side, how to do puts in good times, bad times, and when a stock is not doing anything, it's just flatlined. You've had those stocks where they don't do anything. I love those stocks. And you're going to love them too. You're going to find out why. You're going to find out how to make money in your portfolio whatever the market's doing. And I'm looking forward to teaching you. So if you're interested, there's the program. You got 2 of them. You can do a group thing, maximum of 8 people. I don't even know how many people it's going to reach out to. Or you can do a one-on-one for $450. The group is $250. If you want to do it now and there's nobody signing up yet, I'll do $250 and you can get it one-on-one. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while to develop the interest. Take advantage of it now. Get it in one-on-one for the price of a group. I wish you well. I wish everybody well. We are going to learn stocks, options, portfolio management, investment analysis. We're going to get online together, and we're going to show you how to do your research. And we're going to show you a couple of things where you're going to pray for a bad market. You're going to pray for a recession or a depression. You're going to go nuts when it happens. And you're going to come out smelling like a rose. And wealth is going to be your companion. Now, that's a lot of talk, ain't it? Look me up. Look at my website. I teach the licenses. I teach the 6, the SIE. I teach the 6, the SIE, the 66, the 65, the 63, the Series 7 as well. I wish you well. So I've taken up about a half hour of your time. And the bottom line is, you have the opportunity now to take control of your finances and improve significantly on the performance in the good times, in the bad times. Take care.